You have a new project. You want to use GitHub as your source control repository. You add your project there. A new feature comes along. You make a feature branch, test it, and now you want to merge your changes in the master branch so that the master branch can be deployed. In this video, we will see how to do the entire workflow from beginning to end. We will start off by creating a new repository in GitHub. Then create a new Java project using Spring Tool Suite. It can be any project for that matter. We will first do the initial commit of our project to the local repository and also to the remote GitHub master branch. Then let's say a new feature comes along, so we create a new feature branch, make changes, and then push the changes for the feature to our local repository as well as to the remote repository in GitHub. Once we have tested the changes and are ready, we will see how to merge the changes in the master branch. In a large project, you will create a pull request, someone will review and merge it with the master, but in this demo, we will merge it to the master ourselves. Here, I am logged on to my GitHub account. Let me create a new repository. Call it test project. Click create repository. It's done. Copy the URL for this repo. Now here I have Spring Tool Suite running. Let me create a new project. Even though I am choosing Spring Starter project, it can be any project type. Let's name it as test project. Click next and then finish. In Git, you have a local repository on your machine to which you can make changes and commit locally. This allows you to work offline. When you're ready, you can then push and commit these changes to the GitHub website or what we call the remote repository. So let me first create a local repository for this. Right click, choose team, and then share project. Check on the project and the location for the local repository. Click create repository, which will create a local repository, and then finish. Let's make a change to our app. Let's add a system.outline here in which we put test. Next, let's add our project files to this repository and commit to it. So right click on the project, click team, and then commit. It opens up this Git staging tab. Let's maximize it. We move the files from the unstaged to the staged section, give a message as initial commit. Now clicking commit will just commit it to the local repository. But let me click commit and push, which will commit it to the local repository as well as push the changes to the remote repository in GitHub. It automatically brings the URL for the Git repo I had created. The remote name will be origin. Let me click next. It will create a master branch in GitHub and add these files there. Click next. Enter credentials. Click finish. Enter credentials. It reports that it moved changes from the master branch in the local repository to the master branch in the remote repository, which it created automatically for us. Let me go to GitHub and refresh the page, and here we see our files added in the master branch. Alright, let's say a new feature comes along. Typically, you would create a new branch for it, work on it, test it, and when satisfied and are ready to move it to production, you would move the changes to the production master branch. This allows multiple people to work on their own branches. Let's create a new branch by right-clicking, choosing team, and then switch to and choose new branch. Let's name it feature/feature1. Finish. This will create a branch now in the local repository and automatically switch our project to point to it. Let's make a small change. Add feature here, save it. Spring Tool Suite automatically adds it to the unstaged section. Let's move it to the staged section. Give a message feature1 changes. Again we choose commit and push, which commits it to the local repository feature branch as our workspace is pointed to it, as well as creates a new feature branch in GitHub, feature/feature1, and pushes the changes to it. Click next. Add credentials, click finish, add credentials, and it reports that it pushed the changes from the local repository branch for the feature to the remote feature branch in GitHub, which it created along the way. So if we refresh GitHub repo, we see it reports our new branch got created. We can switch to it, go to our file, and see our changes. These changes are not in the master branch yet. So switch to it, go to the file, and we do not see it. Let us say we are done with the feature, we have tested it, and now we are ready to merge it to the master branch. How do we do that? The first step is to switch to the master branch. Now our workspace is pointed to the master. Next step is to right-click, choose Team, then choose Merge, where we say merge the local branch, which is master here, see the small tick, with the changes from the remote branch origin/feature/feature1. That is why we need to make sure before this step that all changes are pushed to the remote feature branch. We want these changes to be committed to the local master repository. So it reports that it brought in feature 1 changes from the remote feature branch to the local master branch. As we see here, the file now has changes from the feature branch and is pointing to the local master branch. At this point, you would typically do another round of testing to make sure the combined code works fine. And when you are satisfied, let's move these changes to the remote master by right-clicking, choosing Team, and then choosing Push to Upstream. We enter our credentials, and it reports that it updated the remote master with the local master branch. If we go to GitHub in the master branch, go to the file, we see our changes here. Now this master branch can be built and deployed. In this video, we saw how to create a new repository and add a project to it, created a feature branch, made changes, committed it to the local repository feature branch, pushed it to the remote feature branch, then switched our workspace to point to the master branch, merged the changes from the remote feature branch, and then finally pushed it to the remote master branch. Thanks for watching.